What's up, guys? So today we're going to be doing a few things with the Miata. We are very close to getting things started. I have a short list of stuff I want to do today. So I'll go ahead and show you what I've done off camera, as well as get some things done today. Like I want to get the brake and clutch pedal bled, possibly finish up the radiator lines. I mocked up some of the intercooler piping, and I'll show you what I did on the passenger side, but on the driver's side I'm waiting again on some parts to come in for me to be able to finish that and mock it up. One thing we have to do underneath is bolt up one more bolt for the transmission bracket to the, I think it goes to the backbone, one of those, can't remember, and then I need to ground the transmission to the chassis, and I'm not sure if I have a ground wire down there yet or not. I might have to make one. We ended up having to cut this 90 down just slightly again because the S14 water neck stuck out further. It's a little longer, so it made this pipe crooked again, so I just had to trim that down a little bit again, and it's nice and straight. We did run the bottom radiator support lines a little differently. We still have to mock that up, and then I can let you guys know exactly how we're running it this time, because the way we set up the intercooler piping on this side is a little different than we originally anticipated. Also, the throttle body cable I ran down and hooked it up to the little metal piece that clamps around it behind the engine here, and then just ran it down and through the firewall like it normally goes. I did get a new fuel rail because mine was bent, so I just went ahead and installed those in there. Looks pretty good. It kind of weirds me out that this piece is missing, but I guess that's how the new ones are. Went ahead and got some thermal wrap for the oil lines and coolant lines, just because it's so close to the manifold and wastegate and everything. I really just want to be more precautious than anything. So we have it all pretty much mocked up here, and you can kind of tell how everything is running. We are going to tighten things down possibly today, if not tomorrow. This is how we have it, and then I went ahead and ran some thermal on this pipe here, just because it's going to be so close to the downpipe that I don't want it to melt. Still have to run these heater lines, and we did went ahead and made our own AN line for the oil return. I went ahead and bought 2 feet of Vibrance, I think it's the black nylon braided negative 10 AN roll with a negative 10 AN to 1/2 inch NPT adapter, which is the one that goes into the block itself. Then I bought the negative 10 AN ISR adapters for the to hook into this adapter off the engine, and also the one onto the turbo, and they all worked really great. Also picked up some vice jaws to put the AN fitting in, so it holds it when you're tightening it down and everything. It worked out really nice. I think this is only like 20 bucks. I like it. So then we actually picked up this little vise as well, since we didn't have one. The AN line worked out really nice. First one we ever put together ourselves. I think it turned out fine. We'll really see once oil starts flowing through it if we messed up.
I'm taking off the metal bracket that normally goes either against the transmission tunnel wall or against the original transmission. We never took that off, so I'm taking that off because it's just going to rattle.
Can you see it?
It's right there. That one. Because we have nothing to really connect that to right now, so I'm just going to chop that off. Tuck up the rest of these wires since we don't technically need this one.
There's 2 we don't need down there.
Yeah, S14 wire, and then the other one, which is up there, is technically for the S13 speed sensor. But we were trying to retrofit and use our original one. You can see here we have the NA speedo cable. You can end up using the stock one, but the only problem is you don't have the room to be able to spin this, oh Jesus, spin that up and to be able to get into here. So it really becomes a pain. So it won't spin up and go into that. The only way we'd be able to do that is if we drilled a hole right through here or took out some of it so that this cable itself would be able to go straight through. Here's the part number.
For that, what do they call it? A pinion assembly?
Yes.
It's the same thread as the Miata speedometer cable, and it does work. I tested it when I got it, but it's the same input, gearing as for the SR20 that it needs, because the Miata one out of that transmission was too short. The
gearing itself actually wouldn't reach inside, so you would have, it would fit, but it wouldn't actually tell you the speed. So the other thing that I had to do, since we're just gonna hold off on that, is we just tighten these down with the stubbies, or the stubby 10 millimeter Allen key, and a 19, and then these ones, or no, 18 on this, 19 on that. Double check. Someone made a comment that we did these wrong, and you absolutely were right. I put those on backwards, so we're probably gonna change those back when we do the clutch.
I went to bleed the clutch line. Everything is good with the master cylinder side and everything, but Tyler's having a leaking problem at the connection between the line and the slave cylinder. So we were trying to bleed the brakes and the clutch the other night, and it really didn't go as planned. We ended up having to get both front calipers because the bleeder valve broke, just snapped off on both of them. We had to buy a new clutch line for the SR20. So what we ended up getting was an ISR SR20 line, and it's stainless steel, it's braided. It came with both fittings to put into the master cylinder and then one in the slave cylinder down there. And there's one straight end and one 90. There's not much room down there, so we ended up putting the 90 down there. And it works good. It fit perfectly when you run it like this. So basically just ran it down, straight down over the transmission into the slave cylinder. The new calipers on the front right here. So here's the intercooler piping that we ended up running. Oh goodness. This one isn't hooked in because I'm about to take it off, but it gives you a rough idea of how we ran everything. This is a 90 here, to a straight, to a 45, to a 90 silicone. It fits perfectly in here. It's tucked up just behind the sway bar where it bends, and then we also have room for the radiator piping as well, and it just looks really nice. I really like it. You have, of course, your 135 degree silicone hose to a straight pipe with the blow-off valve bung onto it. Other than that, we just have the driver's side intercooler piping to deal with. I think I'm going to do 2 inches down because it's so small in here. There's not much room. It'll be so nice to have the intercooler piping done. The guys up at the shop down the road said that they would bead the piping and everything for us just for a case of beer, so that's really cool.
Okay, so for this side of the intercooler piping, we're doing a 2-inch down that is just a 90-degree bend, or it actually might not even be a 90, it might be like a 75 or a 60. And then that 2-inch pipe actually came with the Miata intercooler kit. So we used that one, bought a 2-inch to 2.5, this coupling right here, going to the universal 45, 2.5, straight to this, and then all the way around. So I'm gonna pull it off and have it shown so you guys can see exactly what all the cuts look like. Okay, so starting from the turbo side, because oddly enough it's the same size coming off, so 2-inch to like a 60, 75, I know it's not a 90, and then to this 45, and we have a 90 going to the intercooler. So now to the cool side, we have this little 45, this is going to route it right up, it's going to go straight up and then right into the intake.
So guys, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we're hopefully going to get our intercooler piping and radiator piping bead rolled, as long as they're available. And then also tomorrow we finally get some under bracing in the mail, and that should be one of our next videos as well. Super excited. That's definitely needed for this car, just in general, and then with all the power it's making, it's going to be extra stiff and hopefully won't flex as much. The engine grounds, I have coming a harness for some engine grounds because we need to do the block, the head, the alternator, and the trans. I think that's it. Within the next couple weeks, I foresee us trying to start it and getting it running. So that's gonna be a really exciting video. We might cry. Tyler might cry for sure.
I'm definitely crying. We did run into a slight issue with the drive shaft. We might have to go steel. We were originally wanting aluminum, but the clearance between the PPF and where the drive shaft would be is actually basically still stock. And the stock one is 2.3.
It's 2.5.
I thought it was like 2.3. Basically, it's
around
small.
2.5, yeah.
So to go to 3 inches, we'd actually be hitting on the PPF, and that's not going to work.
And apparently 3 inches in aluminum drive shaft is really small.
Yeah.
So we might have to do steel, and hopefully we can find somebody to do like a 2 3/4, because I've seen people run 2 3/4 on aftermarket drive shafts in the Miata. So it should fit. We're currently getting a quote on that to see if they can make it.
So many bugs in here.
I know the length was 36 3/4. So we're working on that, and then yeah, we should have the car trying to start within the next couple of weeks. It's getting really exciting and really close.
I may not look excited, but I'm just really tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we should be starting this thing here, hopefully end of the month, end of next month?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, when it's nice out,
The boy
I
says
can
me now.
drive it. So, I mean, after we get it running and everything, things can start being assembled again, and getting the drive shaft and getting new seats and just
car exactly where
everything, just getting it ready to get on the road, because once it's running, I'm not gonna want to wait. I'm gonna want to take it out with the flat tire that I have. That's another thing I need is wheels. But anyway, so that's it for today. Sorry we haven't really been posting much. Tyler and I went on vacation, and Tyler had other family things going on, so we've kind of been MIA from the project, but we're back at it now, so expect to see more soon. Later.